Hey guys, Retro Block Builder coming at you with another video. Decided to kind of go back maybe through time a little bit and revisit some of the exciting moments that I've found when creating my Lego Kingdom. You know, I'm just now starting to create videos, learning how to make and share content. You also notice maybe a different camera angle here and just trying out some different things. So yeah, pardon if I move off camera or accidentally get on camera with this angle. I'm certainly still learning myself here. So, yeah, this is the Lego CMF line 23 Night of the Yellow Castle minifigure. Yeah, I think it's a pretty cool minifigure, right? It's a callback to the original Night of the Yellow Castle, or Yellow Castle, made by Lego. I think released in what, 89 maybe? I have to look at that again, maybe 87. I know it just predates me slightly. I don't mean to date myself here, but so yeah, it calls back some original Lego. I did want one of these in my kingdom, right? At least one of them. I think it's pretty iconic. It's cool CMF. It's symbolizing something cool, and I wanted one in my kingdom. That being said, this is not the one I originally got. This is actually my third one. I didn't mean to get three. I meant to only get one. Because again, I don't really want to army build these guys particularly. That's just my take. I just wanted one just to spice up the town itself. So yeah, I ordered one. But something kind of exciting happened in that process. And I will show you. Let me grab them real quick. So I ended up pulling this guy first. You'll notice the breastplate. I mean, you might also notice the legs. I did leg swap them. I want this one to be basically the older sister, so she's gonna be taller. So I did take short legs off, but everything else, I pulled this out of the bag myself, probably early November 25. Maybe late October 25. So yeah, it was a sealed bag, right? Like, you can just scan the bags nowadays. You don't have to open them necessarily, know what it is. So this one was sealed when it got delivered to me, which is probably why the seller did not know it was a misprint. Otherwise, might not have sold it to me like this. That's really cool. I mean, it's a misprint of an iconic minifigure. I really like it. Yeah, I'm excited. I found a misprint. To my knowledge, it's all legitimate, right? Like, you got the Lego on it. It was all sealed. Let's see if you can see that. I got the Lego logo on the breastplate. The only thing that's different on this one is I did leg swap. I'll show you in a second why. Oh, no. I don't want to keep taking this guy apart. I am an adult Lego fan, so as most of you guys might know, we like to display our things, not play with them, not break them. We like cool looking things that bring back nostalgia. So yeah, that was the first one that I got. I was a little disappointed with him, to be honest. I don't know why I was disappointed at first. It took me a couple of days to realize that the misprint was a really cool thing for some reason. At first I just wanted a perfect chest plate, you know. And then at some point I gotten a lot with some minifigures. And I got another one. But this one, since it came in a lot, it wasn't the CMF necessarily. Again, I'm pretty thrifty. I don't mean to put off like I'm just buying a bunch of Lego or something, but I'm patient over time, right? Like, this whole thing took me 3 months to get all these minifigures and whatnot. I'll wait for a good deal I'll low bid. Um, Anyways, this guy did not come with a chest plate. So I figured this would kind of be the little sister in the kingdom, maybe looking up to the older sister, aunt, or mom, or somebody who might actually be a more accomplished knight at that point in her career. So that's what she gets, the more standard headpiece, and then the smaller shoulder pads there, and then the short legs still, and she just kind of runs around with a flag in my kingdom. Runs around with the flag and the horse, stick horse. And they just might kind of run around and protect the town together. That was what I was gonna do. I was gonna do it with these two, and we'll see. I did get a third because I wanted a perfect chest plate, right? Just before they went away completely, before the price actually went up on them or anything like that. I just wanted one in my collection. So now I do have three. I don't know if I'm going to use all three. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure I'm going to keep the misprint yet. If that thing might end up paying for a castle or something, it might be worth it to just, unfortunately, get rid of this guy. But I am very attached. I think it's really cool. I think it's unique. You can still see enough of the logo that it doesn't really break the minifigure completely, but also the logo clearly is off of the breastplate and it's off center. So it's kind of a cool misprint. It's still a usable misprint, right? It's not an unusable one. So I think that's a cool thing to have. So yeah, that's CMF 23, Knight of the Yellow Castle, little brigade I got going on. That being said, these guys protect the town, man. So let's look at the townsmen real quick. We got a few minutes to kill. I'm not gonna go over these guys too in depth at the moment. I'm just gonna kind of show you guys what I've been working with thus far. Let's see if I can get it on camera right. And it's pretty good. Kind of fills up the camera. Dang. Anyways, obviously I've got some jokers. Got one of the elf CMFs. Was it? Oh gosh, I'd have to look up what line that was. And this is the head and hairpiece that originally go with it. And I just head swapped those guys. I think this guy's still gonna act like an elf in my kingdom. I think the headpiece to me goes really well with the shield and the ambiance of this character, so I really like this combination here. And to me it still seems like he's an elf, right? You can't see the ears necessarily, but come on, ears, elves can have ears under hoods as well. So no, that's still an elf in my eyes. Of course I've got a couple more elves there now, a few more. This is another CMF elf. Again, guys, I'm sorry, I forgot some of the CMF lines and exactly where some of these pieces and parts came from. And I haven't necessarily got all these pieces and parts from, the original source, so to speak. Like, I buy a lot of used Lego lots. I buy a lot of used Lego around town and whatnot off people. And, some of these guys, some of these torsos and whatnot have come from there. They haven't necessarily come from the sets or even the CMF. You will notice some Hagrid bodies. I don't know why he got blonde hair on him. He's got to get hair swapped at some point, for sure. Or at least head swapped, I guess. I'd like the heads to be a little bit more different. I'll probably go black hair with one of them. Some Hagrid bodies to make some giants. I think that ends up looking pretty good. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of that one. I'd like some different Hagrid torsos to work with. Got the Valkyrie CMF. Some of these aren't obviously town folk. Some of them are just fantasy minifigures that don't really fit with an army per se. I don't know where the Valkyrie's gonna fit in the kingdom quite yet, but he can be there. Skipping over here, let's see. I think this is one that I whipped up myself. Pretty sure it's mostly Harry Potter pieces with the with one of the D&D CMF headpieces. Oh shoot, yeah. So I really like the look of that though, and then the simple, shoulder pieces there. I think that looks pretty awesome. I might go for a black hat with hair at some point if I get one of those. Again, buying used Lego lots, you come across a lot of random pieces at times. This is a princess, and for her torso likes to stick. Her legs like to stick. I had to just put something down there to keep it from sticking 4 studs. Anyways, yeah, that came with one of the sets with the blue Lionites, which, yeah, we'll have to go over at some point. The blue Lionites are one of my bigger armies at the moment. I think I've got probably 30 to maybe 32 of them now. Getting kind of big at this point. If I get any more blue Lionites, I'm probably actually gonna resell them and help use that money for more medieval Lego elsewhere. Again, trying to be thrifty with it, right? So I don't need the biggest armies ever. I'm trying to resell some of the Lego that I don't need from some of these collections that I pick up. Yeah, got a Troubadour player. This is a Harry Potter torso and legs. You guys would recognize the character, I'm sure. I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan, but I do like Harry Potter for medieval Lego pieces, guys. I can't say that enough. It's one of the better series out there for getting some good crossover things. This is one of the more recent medieval torsos that you'd find. This is one of the better older medieval torsos that came. Oh hell, I need to do my research on some of these torsos. It might have came in like the Joust or something like that, right? Or maybe even the Medieval Village, the original one. I can't quite recall. But it's a nice torso. I'm sure it came in more than one set. I do think I've got another one of these torsos somewhere. Again, I've got a few more little city minifigures, or town folks rather, and one of my castle scenes I should have pulled out, but I forgot to do that. Of course, I've got a D&D figure that's been reworked a little bit. I do, obviously, you'll notice the yellow heads. I like my yellow heads. I don't know why. I guess for some reason people either like yellow or white heads as a base. I don't like the white heads with medieval or fantasy stuff. It just doesn't look right to me for some reason. So yeah, the yellow just adds a lot more character and pop. It's also a little bit more ambiguous with what it is, right? I do have some other colors in my kingdom still, for sure. But as the primary, yeah, I'm just using yellow. I like it. Plus, I've heard if you were to go like with the white faces and stuff, it'll end up costing a lot more too. I'm not sure about that, but I think the good minifigure heads and the variety of them, they come from the licensed themes, and the licensed themes are always going to cost you more. And they also don't put the licensed themes pieces typically on Pick-a-Brick. So you won't find a large variety of the white heads on Pick-a-Brick because very few of Lego franchised, stuff is on Pick-a-Brick. I like the way this guy turned out, right? This is the Githyanki D&D minifigure. He looks pretty poppin'. I might change his head again at some point, but I like him. He's cool. Yeah, again, I've got some, basically knights and soldiers in there. I wouldn't say soldiers, but some warriors maybe that don't necessarily fit with a particular army at the moment. I don't really want to go with the jelly bean knights in my kingdom. The red one is kind of the only one that I like. So this guy's in here. I like him. I do like this guy. I think the printing on his chest plate is pretty sick. Even his head's pretty good. I think, he's just a gray minifigure though. So nothing special underneath the breastplate or anything, but I like these bull knights from the Kingdoms line. Just one, maybe. I don't particularly want to army build them. Of course, I got tax collector. He's a sweet torso, right? That gold, he got the gold trim all around. Lego did a good job on that too. Centaur CMF. You've got the arm printing. That looks really good. This is one of those times that I wish I was not in one of the Lego dark phases at the moment. Or I might have been into Star Wars. I was into Star Wars before I got really deep into Castle again. And I'll tell you guys a story about how I got back into Castle at some point. But I wish I was around then and could have got a lot of these breastplates. Mainly kind of for the arms, right? Like, it's so hard to find good printed medieval arms. See, I just got some classic guys around. This guy I really like. He's kind of in. His head's probably gonna get swapped at some point. A lot of these are just kind of temporary still. I'm still working at it. But he's basically gonna be like my potion master or alchemist at some point. Is the line of thinking here. He's got these dark green legs here with the potion. I think that came off the Green Dragonite Wizard. Comes in a little box by itself with a few other parts. Nice little set. Do think probably a little pricey today though. I'm glad I got it when I did. And then on one of the more recent Viking torsos, I believe. So you've got a few potions on his waist belt, and then one on his waist belt down there. He's holding one, so kind of ends up looking like a little bit of a potion master. So I think that's what he'll end up being. And he's holding one. I've got, Little Red Riding Hood. I think it's called Grandma's Visitor CMF. I think it's cute. Again, I like adding some flair in my kingdom. I'm not trying to be too serious, guys. I'm trying to have fun here. So, Grandma's Visitor is cool. Then another one. This is one of the OG torsos that you'd see in a lot of maybe pirate sets and stuff a long time ago. I don't like that face or that lipstick for some reason on that head. So that's gonna change at some point. I've got a lot of work to do on these guys, but that's kind of about where I'm at the moment. I wish I'd pulled the rest of them out. I've got a few more from like the more recent medieval village and in one of my castles, but we'll show them off next time. Anyways, definitely like and subscribe. Show some support if you liked it, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.